Hey pals, it's Sassy Cassie, and welcome to the library! So I have mentioned this a couple of times, but I am just super thrilled about reaching 500 subscribers. I wanted to make this video to say thank you for sticking it out with me, and thank you for 500 subscribers, or helping me reach 500 subscribers. I had mentioned in one of my videos that I was really just wanting some kind of story where Naruto has parents, or somebody finds him, or his parents are just still alive. And so I went searching on fanfiction, and I found this really short and sweet fanfiction about somebody coming for Naruto despite his sad childhood. And as a way to say thank you, I just wanted to share what I discovered. And I have it pulled up here on my iPad. Maybe I should drink some water first. His earliest memory was of a butterfly. He remembered it had blue wings that shone and changed color under the sun. He remembered watching it as he slowly rocked back and forth in his swing. And as we know, there are many images of him just in a swing, feeling and looking so lonely. So I really appreciate this. Back and forth in his swing, rocking back and forth as the children in the village played around him with their friends or their parents. He loved watching that butterfly. It flapped its wings over and over as it went from one flower to the next, as if it were looking for the perfect one, for the ultimate parasitical perch. That's some neat alliteration there. I am also going to preface, I have only read this once through, and that was several weeks ago. So I feel like I'm reading this again for the first time. His second earliest memory was the disappointment whenever he outgrew his clothes. Oh, that's sad. It wasn't really a memory, but more of a reminiscence of the tightening of his chest as he was handed down a shirt 2 sizes too big, and pants with so many holes he had been sure rats had eaten it away. Yeah. Made me a little sad. He remembered the fright and the helplessness as the store owner yelled at him for being ungrateful, that he was willingly giving him free clothes. He remembered the snickers of the older children as he ran out the store and back to his empty house. Yeah, that actually raises a lot of questions for me. Like, I know that Naruto lived by himself, and I know it's a fairly common thing in Japanese culture. If you're going to a specific school that's far away, you might live by yourself, but like, Naruto hasn't had parents since he was a baby, and I know that Utica has been like a father figure, but who was feeding him when he was a baby? Who was clothing him? Like, how did he get all this stuff? Not that it's like super important, but I'm just very curious. Like, it's never really explained, and now that it's brought up, I'm like curious if he did get his clothes from a store. I should also preface that before I read any fan fictions, because I didn't want to give anything away, I did look at the date, and this was written in 2004, which is about the time frame of where I am at in the episodes. All right. His third earliest memory was of a boy years older than him saying hello to him. He had been the first person to civilly talk to him, except for the old man. I'm assuming he's referring to the Hokage, and it wasn't much of a surprise to him or anyone else that he was instantly placed under the list of highly suspicious people, and that is in quotations, that should never be trusted no matter what. That seems... okay. There was no way someone would willingly become his friend. He had learned that the hard way, and it was a lesson that had faithfully stayed with him since then. That's sad. I know I mentioned this a little bit during the Rock Lee arc, but I definitely do understand. I had moved schools when I was a child, and I certainly did not have friends for the longest time, but There's always, you find someone eventually. And I did. After the first hello, however, his life had started to change. The people weren't yelling at him everywhere he went. The snickers had diminished, and the name-calling had all but ceased. He didn't know why. He didn't understand. He didn't understand what he had done for them to stop, but he was happy they had. Aw. It gave him a peace of mind. It gave him time to think and to hope that maybe he was finally being accepted into the village. That's fair. But the cold stares didn't stop, of course, because, I know that my eyes are very loud. When we had to, wear masks at work, which I still do, but when it was mandated that everybody wear masks, everyone was like, yeah, I'm glad that nobody can see my face because they can't see how, upset I am with them because they're being stupid or whatever. And I'm like, I wish that were the case for me. My eyes are very loud. I don't need my mouth to speak for me. My eyes do all the talking. So, yeah. Okay, but the cold stares didn't stop, and the meanness never went away. And the children never played with him. It was confusing, and it hurt. That last part of the sentence was confusing and hurt a little. Okay, so he was hoping that because people weren't nearly as mean to him, at least not that outwardly, it gave him hope that he was being accepted, but people didn't stop staring, they didn't stop being mean, and children still didn't play with him. Okay, I'm a little confused by that, but I like where this is going, that he has a friend. He had become used to being the outsider. He had become used to being that kid over there, always alone, always quiet, always causing trouble, always being there, always existing. Existing is italicized. He hated that feeling. He hated the feeling of helplessness and loneliness whenever he tried to approach one of the kids and was promptly ignored and passed away as a second-rate loser. Some days he didn't even try. Other days he simply gave up. This is so sad. I don't remember it being this sad. He sat quietly on his swing, rocking slowly, watching with indifferent eyes as the butterfly lazily went from flower to flower, never satisfied, never quite satiated? Sure, he never looked up as a presence made itself known next to him, choosing instead to focus his attention on the butterfly as it remained on a flower, its wings slowly beating open and close. A butterfly lives only to Okay, let's try that again. A butterfly lives only to reproduce. He looked up and saw the teen who had spoken to him so many days ago. He didn't reply back, but kept his gaze on the older boy, watching as tanned fingers scratched a scar on his nose, brown hair moving with the breeze. He'd come the realization that the teen wouldn't ever leave him alone, and that he might as well just accept his presence. Sure. It didn't really matter anyway, since he didn't have any friends. And never would have. Never say never. The teen would get sick of him and go away, just like everyone else. That's just not true. Oh, I lost my spot. Once the caterpillar turns into a butterfly, it only has 24 hours to lay eggs before it dies. Well, it's a crappy parent, he heard himself reply as he shifted his gaze back to the butterfly. It has no choice. I'm sure that if they could, butterflies would... Okay, let's try that again. It has no choice. I'm sure that if they could, butterflies would take care of their young, but nature doesn't let them. Nature sucks. He pushed the swing with more force. Naruto! Sometimes things happen, and our parents can't see us growing up. He grabbed the steel chains and stopped the swing, waiting for the child to look up at him with furious blue eyes. I'm sorry, sometimes the way people describe eyes in fanfiction just makes me giggle. Okay, with furious blue eyes. Sometimes they sacrifice themselves so we can live. What's the point? He looked back down, glaring at the ground. What's the point if no one likes me? If no one is willing to give me a chance? What's the point of being alive if they feel like I'm dead? That last part was all in his head. It was italicized. Do you want to get something to eat? I'm starving. The boy looked up, blue eyes wide with The boy looked up, blue eyes wide and startled at the invitation. Was it for real? But if this man was inviting him for lunch, he was inviting him for company. He was inviting him because he wanted to spend time with him. Even though he had ignored and yelled at him to go away and leave him alone, it'd mean he wasn't alone anymore. I love that little paragraph there. Also, I'm not sure. He just says he's a man, but then he also says he's a teen. Which I guess a teen can be a man, but in my experience, that's not the case. It's my treat, Naruto-kun. Anywhere you want. That's so cute. Blue eyes narrowed with suspicion. Why? I'd be suspicious. My parents were butterflies. What? I know it's been a couple weeks since I read this, but like, what? I don't remember that. Okay, my parents were butterflies. I guess that would make the both of us caterpillars. Ne? Sorry. I love when people throw in, like, Japanese phrasing in English. It's like Spanglish, but with Japanese. Janglish? I don't know. I love it. The child looked away to the ground, watching at his feet, hovered a few inches from it, blue sandals wasting away and covered in dirt. A caterpillar, huh? Well, from what he'd seen, caterpillars ate a lot, and he was hungry. It'd be nice to have lunch with someone, to pretend, no, to believe that someone actually wanted his company. Aww. I feel that caterpillar thing, though. I'm constantly eating snacks. Like, why have real food when you can just have snacks? I'm not supposed to talk to strangers. Okay. This makes me laugh because no matter how old I get, when I talk to my mom, the way we end every conversation is she always tells me stranger danger, especially because I don't live anywhere close to home anymore. She's always like, stranger danger. Just like, okay, Mom. It's true, though. Don't talk to strangers. I'm a Chunin. My name is Umino Iruka. Now I'm not a stranger anymore. Aww. Okay, I'm a Chunin. My name is Umino Iruka. Now I'm not a stranger anymore. Fine, but I'm not paying. I mean, I'm just saying he asked you, so. My treat. Promise? Promise. Fine, but you promised. That's such a kid way to put it. I love it. He jumped off the swing, flashed the teen next to him a sheepish grin, and ran off towards his choice restaurant, smiling when he heard the older boy curse and yell at him to wait up. He looked back impulsively and watched as the butterfly beat its wings and flew up into the sky. Even if it was only 24 hours, for those hours it held the power of life. Maybe he could too. Maybe one day he'd grow up into a butterfly, just like his parents, just like the one he remembered in his dreams, just like that. That's so precious. We all know that Iruka's been like a father figure to Naruto, and you know, this is really cute. I'd like to believe that they met before Naruto started going to school, and that maybe Iruka, because he also lost his parents, maybe wanted to help Naruto out in a way. I love that. That's so cute. Granted, it's not exactly what I was hoping to find, but again, I did narrow my search by just looking at stuff that was 2004-ish or earlier because I didn't want any possible way of getting any type of spoiler. Of course, fan fiction isn't just fan fiction, so there's probably a lot of things that are just made up, but I didn't want to risk there being a detail that they hung on to that was real in the show that I haven't gotten to yet. So I hope you all enjoyed that. I enjoyed reading it. Again, I'm not great at voices or reading things, but I also realized it didn't name the title. It's called Butterfly Wings, which I think is really adorable. It was written in February of 2004, so that's a couple months behind of where I am in the show right now. at least at the time of this recording. And I love the little description here. It says, when Naruto met Iruka, Naruto gets a family type of fic because the kid deserves so much more. It's true. Naruto deserves so much. So yeah, I will link this fanfiction in the description below. I just wanted to share it as a way to say thank you. I also wasn't sure how to say thank you. I'm not a talented editor, so this is what I came up with. But I really, really wanted to say thank you to all of my subscribers for helping me reach 500, for just helping me stay there. It's been really, really exciting. I really do hope to get to do more things for you guys. But until then, thank you for sticking it out with me. And until next time. Bye!